So, Vivek drops truth bombs on racial division in America. It's like the final embers of racism were burning out in America, and then they were throwing kerosene all over it again. And it's the divide and conquer strategy. And truly, it does feel like this. It feels like as I was growing up, it feels like racism was a thing of a past, and now it's like full force, right back at it, 120%.
What's up? You look really good in person, by the way, too, man. My name is Brock, and I've lived in Springfield 28 years, all my life, pretty much. Since this story leaked, and this is something that everyone needs to hear, the hateful language in this community has spiked. It's really, really bad. I'm half black, I'm half Hungarian, I'm half black, half white, whatever you want to say. I've become a target of the hate. I could probably count on my hand, both hands, how many times a racial slur has been said my whole life. I've been called the N-word twice this week by just people who group me. It happens.
Wow.
Even though my skin may be lighter, I think people just group us together. There's horror stories of people who are darker skinned that have been chased down by people who are white, saying, get out of this country, friends of mine, friends of friends, and say, like, get out of here, you're Haitian, we don't want you here, even with a 6-month-old baby at a grocery store. So regardless, I find it shameful.
It's ignorance, man. I think the problem is just a widespread dumbing of America instead of us focusing on increasing the base IQ. Instead of focusing on increasing like a base minimum wage, I would like to see a base increase in minimum IQ.
Shameful, and I find it inappropriate whether I'm Haitian or American. What would you say to my fellow people here in the community?
Twitter quality.
This rhetoric, I don't think I can tolerate them.
Tell me?
Brock. Yeah.
All right, so this is a serious question. I want to take a minute to address this. I can speak.
Man, Brock from Pokemon does not look like what he did in the show.
Some truth here. I'm in the camp of long-standing believing that the United States of America is not a racist country and the least racist country known to mankind. I have never experienced that type of invidious racism growing up. But I also want to speak a hard truth here, because there's something going on in the country right now. When I say right now, I'm talking like the last 9 to 12 months in this country. There is
It's a little longer than that. I really feel like it's been like the
uptick
past 2 years.
in racial tension in this country that did not exist in the 30 years that I grew up right here in Southwest
32?
Ohio. And
Nice.
I'll tell you
I'm
what's
30
going
as
on, because
well.
this gets to the essence of what's going on in this country and bothers me.
Twitter quality.
Take the immigration issue. You take 20,000 people who are unprepared to integrate into a community, dump them into a city of 50,000, you're going to get a reactionary response. Then you demonize the people who have the reactionary response, who say, oh, you're blaming me. They're going to have ill will, in this case, towards the Haitian community. On the racial point, let me mention this, too, because I see this happening. There's no better way to create racism in America, anywhere, than to take something else away from someone's family because of their skin color. So whether it's a seat in college, or whether it's a job, or now even forms of federal aid under the likes of Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris, say that you only get certain forms of aid if you're a racial minority, if you're black or Hispanic. That actually creates more racial animus in response. And so this is what I think many people on the right sometimes miss, which is that, are these anti-racist programs, are they racist against whites or Asians? They are, but actually it's not just that it's racist against whites and racist against Asians. It is literally fueling a new wave of anti-black racism in the country that otherwise would not have existed if it weren't for those woke anti-racist policies in the first place. It is divide and conquer. It's the media. The media's throwing kerosene on this. And so here's what was happening.
Look at that lady in the back. Hold on. I'm sorry. She just said, yeah.
If
Focus
it
on
weren't
this.
for those woke anti-racist policies in the first place. It is divide and conquer. It's the media. The media's throwing kerosene on this. And so here's what was happening. It's like the final embers of racism were burning out in America. And then they're throwing kerosene on it all over again. It is a divide and conquer strategy. They want to divide us on ourselves. And you know who it's up to make sure they can't get away with that? It's up to us. It's up to we the people to say hell no to that vision. You will sell us.
That dude, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back again. This guy, you cannot tell me this guy didn't hear that and go, hell yeah. He gave the response, hell yeah, brother.
Divide us on ourselves. And you know who it's up to make sure they can't get away with that? It's up to us. It's up to we the people to say hell no to that vision. You will sell us this myth that we're divided. You're going to try to pit us against each other.
Me. I was thinking
but you know what? We the people who are citizens of the United States of America are the people who we actually elect a government to represent, and all of us are American, regardless of our race or creed. And that's what made this country great the first time around, and that's how we're going to make this country great again. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brock.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Vivek is literally like the Barack Obama of the Republican Party. He is so well spoken. Yes, straight up. Vivek's right. Some people thrive on division. Division, but America is all about unity and moving forward. Like, that's really what like America is all about. People are gonna be like, yeah, but racism and that. Oh. I really think America is truly about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's like the American dream, and anything past that, like no place is perfect by any stretch of the means. And is racism real? I mean, it's definitely having an uptick. Growing up, I really felt like there was a stark decline of at least my generation. I guarantee you, my generation, all the 30-year-olds out there, 80 to 90% of us don't give a fuck. 10% in the world, sure, are gonna suck and they're gonna be bottom dwellers, but guess what? They're just losers. But if you look at the rest of the 80 to 90%, we don't give a fuck. If you're nice, hold yourself with good character, and you're really just focusing, not just being really just not a selfish, narcissistic asshole. I really don't care what you look like or really what you believe in, so long that we can get along, have some laughs, and you're not trying to, you know, take anything away or make me respect your authority.